Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Kevin from BFB, and it's a gorgeous day in San Francisco. I'm in the Presidio, and you can see Alcatraz in the background over there, so I hope you enjoy this shot. Anyways, it's the final episode of Season 1 of Real Talk on crypto coins, and in this final episode, we are covering EOS, or EOS. You may have heard of this project before because of its year-long ICO, or because its founder, Dan Larimer, is famous for other projects in the space like Steem or BitShares. Anyways, I'm excited to dive into the research for you, cover the good and the bad, no shilling, no FUD. And as always, I want to leave a quick note that I spend a lot of time on these videos making sure the information is deep and accurate. So if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate it. Well, enough of keeping you waiting. Let's take a look at what this project is all about. Okay, Season 1, Episode 8, the final episode of Real Talk on Crypto Coins. And this is going to be covering EOS or EOS. And in this intro slide, I included a picture of Dan Larimer. Many of y'all may already recognize him since he's pretty famous and well known in this crypto space. And also, this project is nearing its initial launch, and so there's a lot of talk about it around the crypto world, and also price has risen quite a bit in recent weeks. So let's take a look at what this project is. So for those of you who don't know, what is EOS all about? Well, it's an industrial-scale dApps platform, kind of like an Ethereum competitor. And it claims to have horizontal scalability, so it can process things in parallel, like smart contracts and transactions, and thus make it way faster than current approaches. The company behind this is called Block.one and is ran by Dan Larimer. All they're going to be doing is to develop and maintain the EOS.io software, which is going to be open source. They're not actually going to be launching a public blockchain, which is a really interesting choice of theirs. This they're going to leave to the community. So we may see multiple blockchains sprout from their open source software, and then the community will probably decide on a few of them, maybe just one. They also have some notable tech design choices. For example, their delegated proof of stake consensus protocol, over 100,000 transactions per second, which is claimed, zero transaction fees model, and the ability to alter smart contracts code after the fact by block producer voting, and much more. Their ICO is also a year long, and there will be 1 billion total tokens, which will be ERC20 initially. Now, these ERC20 tokens will have no use, but they can be mapped to EOS public keys later. So when these public blockchains get launched by the community, they can take a snapshot of current ERC20 token holders, and that's how you will claim your EOS coins on those platforms later. So the EOS platform tokens will be thought about as real estate or bandwidth. And so they're not used for transaction fees, remember. But if you hold them, you can get a proportional amount of access to network resources, to bandwidth, and just to use the blockchain in general. So people who want to build dApps on top of EOS will need to have these tokens and hold them, or they can rent them from other people. And of course, there's many other layers to this really ambitious and complex project, but I'm just keeping it short and sweet for you, so I encourage you to go take a deeper look for both what it's about and also what I'm going to cover soon about the good and the bad. So what are some of the good things about EOS? Well, it's likely the first Generation 3 blockchain to reach market. So we're really excited to see how that's going to happen, if it can compete with Ethereum, the first mover, and the dominant player of the space. What are some of its unique features? Well, parallel processing, and so this is great for scalability. No transaction fees, and so how will block producers be incentivized to create new blocks and maintain the blockchain? Well, this is paid out by inflation, which is anything between 1% to 5%, I believe, if that's what I read correctly. And so there's inflation built into the token model, and that's how block producers will earn incentives to do their work. They're also going to have a process for recovering accounts if you lose your private keys, and also make human-readable account names, kind of like in Steemit. So Dan Larimer, the founder, is no newbie to blockchain or cryptocurrency. He's built BitShares and Steem, both really well known and really widely used projects in this space. They also have a massive reserve so far. Because of their ICO, they've raised billions of dollars so far, depending on when they cashed out the Ethereum that they gathered. And so with this, they've created many ecosystem funds, partner with big name VC funds as well, to incentivize people to build on top of EOS, build dApps, build ecosystem products and tools, for example. Their ICO distribution model, which is a year-long daily Dutch auction, also prevents whales from scooping up all the coins. I'm not going to go too deep into how this works, but you can go take a look yourself online. Finally, their announcement of EOS Phoenix, which is a high-performance decentralized exchange built on the EOS software by Bitfinex, is also very promising and will become an early test of usage and adoption of this platform and how the technology can handle it. So what about the bad part and also some concerns just in general? So a lot of people are unsure about how some of these features, many of which are experimental, will actually turn out, like delegated proof of stake. So there's a back and forth between Vitalik and Dan about the merits and the usability, security, scalability of delegated proof of stake. I'm not going to go into details about this because it's really long, but I encourage you to go Google it and read it yourself. In my opinion, I tend to side more with Vitalik's concerns, and I don't think Dan really answered it fully. But an argument can be made that EOS is trying to focus on different parts of what a blockchain platform should be used for, and so not be like just all-out gung-ho decentralization, for example. And so they're trying to target different audiences and different users. Also, their on-chain governance may lead to more politics, because you need to gain a lot of votes to become one of the block producers. And so there's been talk about paying for votes and whether or not that can be stopped. They're going to have 21 block producers, so this is definitely less decentralization than ETH. And like I said earlier, is this the point of EOS? Is it the focus? Is a big question as well. They're also going to have multiple chains upon launch. Now, how will this play out? We will see. Will the community gravitate towards just one chain, or will there be something strange going on that we didn't foresee? There's also negative public sentiment or just general confusion towards a few things surrounding this project. Their year-long ICO is the longest ICO to date. A lot of people don't like that. Whether or not it's a good token model or not is up for debate. Also, Dan's prior early exit from Steem and BitShares. People are also like, is Dan just going to leave EOS once he's done and move on to another project he's interested in? And while the dev team has said that they're going to continue to support the ecosystem, it is a fair question to ask, in my opinion. Finally, many people don't understand the utility of the EOS ERC20 token. It's written on their website in like big bold letters that it's not going to have any use, no rights whatsoever, and so many people are turned off or scared because of that. And actually, more likely than not, it's going to give you a right to the EOS platform tokens once public blockchains are launched by the community. But once again, many people don't know that, and they're just turned off by the print on the website. And so why do I bring these up, even though they might not be fair criticisms? Because this will require a lot of PR and explanations in order to get the public to understand that they may not be as bad as they think, and so that they'll be more willing to invest in this project and use the coins as well. They also have an uphill battle against the first mover Ethereum. I'm not going to speak too much into this, but I've spoken before in prior videos on network effects, the cost of switching over, and just using something that people are familiar with. Finally, you have to register your ERC20 tokens for Snapshot. And while this may be somewhat easy, it's still a hassle, and it's not the most intuitive to figure out, especially if you're just a hodler or a beginner investor who goes buy it on an exchange and just leaves it there with all their other coins and think that everything's okay. It's actually not okay. You need to be sure to register for the Snapshot, get it off of the exchange. So that's a heads up for some of y'all who haven't done that yet. Be sure to do so before their Snapshot, I believe, in early June. So would I personally invest? Well, once again, not financial advice, just my personal opinion. And yes, I would, a little bit of my portfolio, just as a hedge against Ethereum, and also a bet on the eventual third generation platform winner, or winners if there's a few. And so they're going to be competing against Cardano, Icon, VeChain, and a lot more. And so I'm eagerly anticipating the full platform launch in mid-2018, curious to see how these things all shake out, if it works, if it doesn't, what lessons learned and iterations will we see come out of it. So some things I really like about this project. Well, they're interesting and promising design choices. If it works, it will be a world changer in my opinion. Their experienced and well-connected team, and massive war chest to do a lot of development and ecosystem support. Now, also on the flip side, what are some of the things I'd like to see? Well, once again, how things shake out after launch. Also, Block.one's continued support and dedication to the EOS ecosystem. As long as this talented team is behind it, I think they have promise to improve, iterate, and make this platform great. Well, I hope you found this video very valuable and informative, but as always, I'm only human, so if you thought I made a mistake or was biased, definitely leave me a comment down below, and I'll be sure to take a look and potentially rethink my position. Since this is the last episode of Season 1, we're going to be moving on to different series, but don't worry, we'll come back to Real Talk very soon. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. This is Kevin, and I'll catch you on the next one.